Good morning everyone. Now I am going to present on the ANA parameters. What are the different ANA parameters? See, practically the ANAs are characterized by radiation pattern, frequency bandwidth, retinal loss, directivity, released gain, VSWR, polarization, and different and so on. See, this is the radiation from the wire. How the radiation will occur. The wire charge is not moving, current is not created, and there is no radiation. That is from the straight wire you have no radiation. If the charge is not moving, current is not created, there is no radiation. This is when the wire is bent like this. This is from the curved portion, the radiation will occur. Or the wire is bent like this, you have the radiation from here. When the wire is discontinuous, you have the radiation from here. Or when the straight wire that is truncated, then you have the radiation. When you have truncated, you have the radiation. If charge is moving with uniform velocity, there is no radiation. If the wire is straight and infinite in action, that is straight, no wire, there is no radiation. If the wire is curved, bent, discontinuous, terminated or truncated like this, when it is curved, bent, truncated or discontinuous, you have the radiation. If the wire is straight, there is no radiation. If the charge is oscillating in time motion, it radiates even if the wire is straight. Even if the wire is straight, you have the radiation with the oscillating fields. With the oscillating fields, this is the basic radiation mechanism for the wire for different configurations of curved, bent, and discontinuous and truncated. See, there are the different parameters for the ANA, that is the radiation pattern of the ANA. This is the main representation of the distribution of power outflowing, that is what is called, it is radiating power from the antenna when it is used as a transmitting antenna, or inflowing, that is received to receive the antenna, that is called the receiving antenna. It is a function of directional angles from the antenna. That is, you have the patterns is determined in the far field region, and it is represented as a function of the coordinates, directional coordinates. You have the radiation properties. It is independent on the power flow directions. It is same when antenna is used to transmit and when it is used at the receiving antenna. It is the property or the radiation pattern same when you are using for the transmitting and for the receiving purpose. It is different for different frequencies and different polarizations of radio waves or when it is received. That is mainly radiation intensity, field strength, directivity, and power flux density. See, this is the 2D pattern. It is also called the power pattern. This is the trace of the received power at a constant radius is called the power pattern. The main point is the main function of this one is at the constant radius. What is the received power at a constant radius? And that is called the power. Power pattern is in the form of the received power. And another thing is called the field pattern. This is the graph of spatial variation of the electric field or magnetic field. Along a constant radius, it is called the field pattern. Power pattern, you have the amplitude pattern. See, in the patterns, you have the two planes. One is the azimuthal plane, and another one is the elevation plane. That is, you have the spherical coordinates r theta phi. For the azimuthal plane, theta equal 90 degrees, horizontal elevation plane phi is 90 degrees. 90 degrees, that is the elevation plane. It is the 2D pattern. It is a 2D pattern. It is the intersection of the 3D one with a given plane, that is theta equal to constant or phi equal to constant plane that contains a pattern. This is in the direction this is maximum, in the azimuth plane this is the maximum. That is theta equal to constant plane, phi equal to constant plane. Those are called the patterns maximum. This is the 3D pattern. It is the antenna radiation pattern. This is the 3 dimension. Theta is increasing from here and phi is increasing from here. In this one, both the angles theta and phi are varying, and the interpretation for this one is very difficult compared to the 2D pattern. The interpretation is difficult for the 2D pattern. Generally, this is the pattern for the isotropic radiator. What is isotropic radiator is? It is having the equal radiation in all directions. It is called the isotropic radiator or hypothetical lossless antenna. It is omnidirectional antenna. You have in all the directions you have the same pattern. This is called the principal planes. This is the hard antenna. This is the H field direction. This is the horizontal direction, the H field, and vertically the E plane. E plane is the vertical direction. This is the principal maximum. In which direction you have the maximum electric field, that is called the E field. This vertically is the E field, horizontally is the H field. This is the H plane, horizontally is H plane, vertically is the E plane. This is the 2D pattern of linearly polarized antennas. That is, E plane is parallel to the electric vector containing the direction of the maximum radiation. In which direction you have the maximum, that is the E plane. H plane vector is orthogonal to E plane. E and H are always orthogonal to each other. This is so when E plane is in the vertical direction, H plane in the horizontal direction. Parallel to the vector, orthogonal to E, and it is containing the direction of the maximum radiation. In which direction you have the maximum, that is called the H plane. So here for the hard antenna, H plane is the horizontal, E plane is the vertical direction. This is the isotropic or the hypothetical lossless antenna. It is called the isotropic antenna or isotropic radiator or hypothetical antenna, which cannot be physically realizable. But we are comparing this antenna performance with all the antennas, all the antenna performance characteristics. Useful for reference to describe the real antennas. This is taken as the reference antenna to describe all the real antennas. It is radiating equally in all directions, theta and phi, all phi and all theta directions. It is represented by a sphere whose center coincides with the location of the isotope. This center is coinciding with the location of the isotopic radiator. The directional antenna, this is radiates much power in one direction than for others. In which direction it is reaching maximum, that direction is taken as the directional antenna. Usually this term is applied to antennas whose directivity is much more higher than the half-wave dipole. We can take the reference antenna as the half-wave dipole. The antenna which is non-directional, it is a plane. It is considered directional in another planes. See, it is major lobe. It is containing the direction of maximum radiation. In some antennas, there may exist more than one lobe. You can have the more than one lobe. See, this is the minor lobes. These are the minor lobes. You have the minor lobe in rather than the major lobe. This is the minor lobe. Side lobes are the radiation lobes other than the internal lobe. These are called the side lobes. These are called the side lobes. Which is adjacent to the major lobe is called the side lobes. Back lobe is whose radiation is at the back at the 180 degrees with respect to the main beam of the antenna. It major lobes, minor lobes are expressed as radiation of power density in the lobe to that of the major lobe. When you are comparing the, you will refer the minor lobe radiation with compared to the major lobe. This is the half hour point. This is the 0.5 half hour means half of the major lobe. This is the half hour point. That is the left and right of the major lobe. This is the half hour beamwidth. And now this is the two first nulls. This is the one null. This is one null. This is the first null beamwidth. The difference between these two is called the first null beamwidth. See, half hour beamwidth is, it is the angle between two vectors planes from the patterns to the origin to the points of major lobe where the radiation density the half of its maximum. Half of its maximum is the half of beamwidth, and it is used mainly for the radars, radar technology and radio astronomy. First null beamwidth is the angle between two vectors originating at the pattern's origin and tangent to the main lobe. That is between the first nulls major lobe. We have that is the angle between is called the first null. Generally, first null beamwidth is equal to the twice the half hour beamwidth. See, broadband antennas, the ratio of upper to lower frequencies within the acceptable operation, then it is called the narrow broadband width. The percentage of frequency difference over the center frequency is less, then you can call the narrow band antennas. That is 10:1, or see the broadband 10:1 bandwidth, or narrowband antennas bandwidth is 5% bandwidth. That is, in this one broadband you can calculate FH by FL. For narrowband antennas, FH minus FL by center frequency. That is the 5%. That is, FH is upper frequency, FL is lower frequency, FC is the center frequency. See, what is meant by the return loss? This is the very important parameters for the antenna characterization. It is the parameter which indicates the amount of power that is lost to the load and does not return as a reflection. So this is the how much power it is reflecting back, that is given as the return loss. When you have the perfect matching between the antenna, you have the return loss, less return loss. That is minus 20 log L mod K decibels. K is the reflection coefficient. So perfect matching between the transmitter and antenna, then K equal to 0, reflection coefficient 0, RL equal to infinity, which means no power will be reflected back. When K equal to 1, the reflection coefficient is 1, that is not matched properly. Then you have the RL equal to 0, which implies that all incident power is reflected. That is, all the power is reflected means there is no matching between the antenna and the transmitter. Thank you.